Hey everybody, just wanted to do a quick video in regards to the question. I asked a question the other night in our Facebook community about the biggest challenge that you're facing, and I got a lot of the responses really seem mostly to revolve around nutrition. So I just wanted to address it real quick, give you a couple kind of tips that maybe you can use that'll help you out in regards to that. So I think when we're talking about nutrition, really what we're talking about is staying on track, right? Maybe things having to do with meal planning, how to get better at that and whatnot. So rather than trying to tell you what you need to eat and what's good, what's bad, we don't need to go into that, right? We already know that stuff. The thing is, there's two things I just want to share with you. So one is when you're dealing with problems with nutrition, it's never an issue of being lazy or just unmotivated. It's really an issue of finding your why. Right, and that just means finding the deep emotional reason why you're doing what you're doing. Why is it important to you to eat healthy? Why is it important to you to lose weight or get fit or whatever your goal is? What is it that's really important to you? And I'm not talking about numbers like, I want to weigh a certain amount or drop a couple clothing sizes, or I just want to feel, more in shape. I mean, like, dig deep with it. Find your why. Find your real connection. And when you find that, you're gonna discover that it's not very hard to stay motivated and stay on track. You just have to connect with it. And I think it's something that very few of us actually do. Take that time to dig for that and understand that. But find out why. Secondly is play the DVD all the way through. That's something I talk about a lot. And basically what it means is it's the same thing like if you ever rented a DVD, you watch a movie on it, and right somewhere in the middle when it's getting good, you pause it. And it would be just like that and you leave it. All you're going to remember about the movie is how good it was. But if you've ever watched one of those movies, like when it started getting good and it looked like it was building up to something and then the end just kind of sucked, it was like, what the hell was that? The movie was horrible. You know what I mean? So it kind of left you flat. It's the same thing with nutrition. When we want to eat those foods we know we're not supposed to be eating, all we tend to do is think about the good part, how good it's going to taste, right, when we eat it, and we stop the DVD right there. But we never take time to play the DVD through to the end when we have to think about the outcome. So what I would suggest to do is think about the outcome before you make the choice, meaning how are you going to feel about yourself after you've made that choice, after you've eaten that, whatever it is. If the feelings you're going to have are negative about yourself, any negative feelings, guilt, remorse, anger, frustration, you know what I mean, things like that, then don't do it. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. That none of those feelings are going to do you any good. None of them are going to help you succeed and achieve your goals. Have you feel better about yourself as you go along this kind of journey toward achieving the goals that you have for yourself. So just don't make the choice if it's going to do that. So that's the two suggestions. Finally, the last one, it's just basically to also be kind to yourself in a way that if you do fall off track, we all do from time to time. We all do. And it's not that we have to be perfect and stay on track 100% of the time. Come on, we want to enjoy life too, right? But it's not about being perfect. It's just recognizing when you fall off track and being able to be aware of it, recognize it, and then pull yourself back on. Because the worst thing that can happen, it's not that you go out one night and you eat something bad or you eat the dessert or whatever and you caved into the temptation. That's not like a big deal, really. It's not going to undo all the work that you've done up to this point. The problems start to happen when we feel so bad about ourselves because of the one decision that we allow it to make us spiral way, way off track for like days or weeks at a time, right? Because we feel so bad, we just it's like we give up. So don't let it do that. Cut yourself some slack. Be kind to yourself in that way that you have a little bit of leeway. If you're eating really clean 80% of the time, then the other 20%, you kind of build that room into your overall, plan so that you can afford to enjoy yourself a little. You can have the dessert, or you can go out and eat without worrying about, am I supposed to eat this? Is this good or bad for me or whatever, right? Have that little bit of leeway kind of built in, and you'll do just fine. So hopefully these tips help you out, and as you go into your weekend. And but don't you worry, I'll be back on Monday, bright and early, with some new little tricks up my sleeve. So until then, have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week.